the fish fillet. Now,
Who orders a fish fillet from Mackie D's?
I ordered.
Harvey Weinstein did.
What's that supposed to mean? I ordered a fish fillet.
Take from it what you will.
I ordered a fish fillet meal, and it came. Now, here's what we need to break down. The fish fillet is some fried haddock.
Is it haddock?
I think it's haddock.
How do you know? You don't know it's haddock.
What else would it be? It's not going to be cod.
It's not haddock.
It's haddock.
There's no way McDonald's is spending money on haddock.
Why not?
I just don't believe it.
Haddock's a cheap fish.
Fish
Also,
fillet.
here are the other two questions. Well, not
I'm
questions.
calling it now. It's not haddock. Oh.
I'm calling it. It's not haddock.
That's a mysterious voice that's just dropped in there. Maybe we'll introduce that mysterious voice later on. That's playing in the background. Here's the thing: it's
playing in my head rent free.
There's tartar sauce, sure, on the fish fillet, or the fillet of fish, however you prefer to say it. I say fish fillet.
I think it's official. I think its official name
It's a fish, a fillet of fish.
is a filet o fish.
It's right in front of you.
No, it's fish fillet. Just like Kanye West says in the song.
What song?
The-
What's the name of the song, Gavin? Gavin, what's the name of the song?
It's friends in Paris.
Okay.
Buddy old pals in Paris. Me and my friends in Paris.
You fucking idiot.
What?
You dumb.
Is it not haddock?
Fucking idiot.
It's not haddock.
It's not haddock. It's either white hokey or pollock. You fucking moron.
I look foolish.
You stupid.
I feel
shit.
But here's the question, Gary. Why is there cheddar cheese on the fillet of fish? The
I
fish
think
fillet.
you are being generous in calling it cheddar cheese.
Why is there imitation American cheese
American style plastic cheese
on the fillet of
cannot
fish?
be classed as cheddar?
Fish fillet.
What is American style plastic cheese? What, like, if you were gonna get close to
It's
naming
chemicals.
it, but if you were gonna be like, oh, it's cheddar, it's Wensleydale, it's Gorgonzola,
Wensleydale.
it's Parmesan.
Parmesan.
What, like it, cheddar is cheddar the closest, or is it
I
just
mean,
its
yeah,
own?
like
is it no?
Amer-
But is it, or is it just its own species of flat cheese? That's
Its own species.
is this what?
It's American cheddar. I'm thinking.
It's not. Is that what? No way. If that's what we're contributing to the American cheese society's flat plastic shit, they have fucked
Think
up
of
in
it
more
like a
ways than
deadly
one.
dunker or something. Like
That's not cheese.
It's the idea of cheese.
That's the promise. The honest to God promise of a world
We
with
promise you
cheese.
cheese, but it won't be cheese. But
What
again,
else is
again,
like a petit falou?
disregard what it is.
Fruit cheese.
The question is
Goopy fruit
The
cheese.
question is who in the world of McDonald's was like, let's get the bun, a
Yep.
brioche looking bun. Let's get the fried pollock.
Or hokey.
Okay, let's get the tartar sauce on there. And then they thought, we're missing
Slap on a
something.
cheese.
We're missing something. What do we need to bring this alive? They thought cheese.
Definitely feels like somebody was making the filet o fish at the McDonald's headquarters and looked into the storeroom and were like, we've got an awful lot of flat cheese. What about we just stick it on
Let's fucking stick it on
Stick
the
it on
fish.
everything on the
Stick
menu.
it on the fish bun.
Do you order your fillet of fish without the cheese?
No, of course not.
Then what's the fucking problem?
It's meandering movies. It's
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Meandering Movie Podcast. This is a fun special episode that we promised quite some time ago.
We
It's
did-
now happening.
We hoodwinked it, baby.
We have hoodwinked it, and in today's oh, he is going for it. Look
Phil,
at him go.
you're gonna lose. I'm worried we're gonna lose you to this.
Well, we've already lost
30
him to
seconds
it.
of DVD music.
This week's,
Unbeknownst, can we just? I'm assuming by the time Gav sorts out the edit, unbeknownst to the listening mortals, we have, for some reason, inexplicably decided to run the DVD music into Phil's headset on loop. The DVD of Hoodwinked also, and just to clarify this, has 25 to 30 seconds of some indescript nonsense music,
that
which
you
isn't-
might be hearing right now
you may hear for a little bit. We ran it into Phil's headset so that he can listen to it
on
on
repeat.
repeat for the next
I ran it through Shazam to see if it would recognize anything, and nothing came up. So I'm assuming it's
What a
royalty free.
surprise. It's
So-
royalty free.
I suggest we use this music from here until the end of time.
Royalty free Hoodwinked music. Anyway, Phil is at the moment doing pretty well. He's jiving. He's having a good time. By the end of this episode, I would guarantee he will be a
Because
changed man.
for context, in the lead up to when setting up the recording equipment, Gary turned to me and went, "It's starting to make me feel uneasy." When it was on repeat, you're just like, "I don't want to hear it
It's
anymore."
awful. It's not great music. Like Captain Ahab finding the white whale, you will descend into insanity. Did Captain Ahab go crazy when he was searching for Moby Dick?
That was so much funny with the music behind it. Just the complete... Because the music ended as you finished that question, so it went completely silent for like a second, and then it came back in. It's beautiful.
So that's right, human people. Not only
We're
are
back.
we doing
Episode 9.
the Hoodwinked episode,
Episode 10?
because we've promised
Are
a
we
lot.
episode 9 or episode 10?
This is episode 8, 7
I
or
was
8.
close.
But we've promised a lot of things in this podcast, and we've never delivered in any of them.
The nudies.
But we promised that we would do a Hoodwinked episode.
The nudies.
And after going out and getting a little sloshed on
Slightly sozzled.
on beer at McDonald's, we
I had
have
a
come
beer
back.
that tasted like an orange Fanta.
We spent 77 minutes watching Hoodwinked.
Not even feature length.
Not even feature length. We spent 77 minutes watching a non-feature length animated movie. And we have brought back, of course, we have Gary here. Gary's here.
Howdy.
We have
Quizmaster Gary.
the masochistic
Bull torturer.
ball torturer Gavin here. And returning after a long
Hiatus.
awaited hiatus.
Slowly touching insanity.
Slowly touching insanity.
Staring
Listening
into
to
the void and listening to it scream back at him.
We have your favourite, the lover of all, Audio Boy. There he is. He's back in the
Once
game.
again, just to clarify, Gavin and I cannot hear the music.
Again, it's
I'm having the best time.
Phil is just
Phil is
on
jiving
repeat.
too.
Can you hear our voices?
Yeah, it's come through that as well.
Oh, that's even worse. So you hear our voices plus that music.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to the listeners and to Philip. So when it comes to Hoodwinked, I'd never seen it. Gary, you of course have seen it because
Touted it. It was my film. I pushed it out. I said, hey, this film is awful on so many levels, but at the same time, a beautiful masterpiece.
And
on so
Audio
many
Boy.
levels.
I saw it when I was, I think, 8 or 9 years old.
You're
So
getting
that-
younger every time you
I
tell
don't
the
remember
story.
much apart from the
I thought
very
you
end
said
of the
11.
movie. I honestly have no idea.
Might have been
how old
10?
It was, I was primary school. We'll say that
So
for sure.
minimum age 6, maximum age 14.
Is it primary school as a 14-year-old?
That's what you told me. You said that you kept getting held back.
Don't bring that up on mic.
It's because he spent every day in the music room listening to the Hoodwinked DVD music. And so, for me, as a hoodwinked virgin,
Hoodwinked Virgin sounds like it definitely has a circumcision joke hidden in it.
well, there's
somewhere.
someone in there. It's winking at you from its little.
What did you think, Gav?
Yeah. So
What did Gav? Look at me. I don't want any of your 12 points you wrote down in a note. I want to know right now.
I have made
Look
12
at,
bullet
Look
points.
at me right in the eye. What did you think of Hoodwinked?
here's
From start to finish. From
Here-
the Beatrix Potter advert onwards.
From the Renee Zellweger,
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor. I was gonna say Mark Ruffalo. From the Renee Zellweger, Ewan McGregor trailer, Harvey Weinstein Company logo to now,
I think after
and don't
watching.
forget Arthur and the Invisibles.
and the Arthur the
Oh, don't worry, we're
Invisibles.
going to get into that because I've got notes.
Okay.
I've got
Madonna,
notes in these things.
David Bowie and Ziggy Stardust.
My feeling and experience watching
actors.
Hoodwinked was I think it's a secret masterpiece.
Right?
That people need to know about.
It has been slept upon.
It's absolutely been slept upon.
Was it Phil said at the beginning of this? We stuck it on. And for anyone that has listened to this podcast, you'll know that the reason we watched this is because recently, 2 episodes ago, I said, if I was on death row, I would put on Hoodwinked because it's a genuine masterpiece. And Gavin went, fuck off. And I said, no, I swear to God, it's actually really good. And Phil went, yeah, I remember that when I was a kid. It's pretty good. And I was like, no, it's fucking really good. Anyway, that's why we decided to watch this. And at the beginning of this, Phil said, "You know what? If this was animated, even just with just like 25% better, it could have been a genuine masterpiece. It would be spoken about for years.
It would be up there with Shrek for sure.
Yeah, it would have rivaled Shrek. After rewatching it tonight, I'm like, that film's so fucking good. It just what and to reiterate, if you haven't listened to my the last episode where I spoke about it, the only problem it has, and it is a huge issue.
Perhaps an issue that can't be overcome at points.
It genuinely maybe can't be overlooked. It is a Mount Everest of an issue. It looks like hot shit. It is.
Like,
after rewatching it tonight, there were bits of this where I thought maybe we've downloaded some like Russian knockoff like version of the animation. The audio is clearly right because it's all the American voice actors, but this looks like shit.
So I had a wave of different feelings.
Did you? First question I have is: Did you honestly believe me when I said it looked bad?
Yeah,
did you go into this expecting it to look that bad?
So when you sell it to me as it looks bad, I'm thinking like
when I sold it to you as it looks like hot warmed up vomit, because that was I think my exact words.
Yeah, you were like it looks like reheated vomit, I think is what you said.
Did you heed that?
I didn't expect it to look as bad as you said it was.
How can it look worse
because
than that selling
if you
point?
think it like when we're kids and stuff and you watch like even Shrek, because Shrek is going to be brought up a lot during this discussion. You look at Shrek now, it doesn't really. Well, I'm going to bring up Shrek a lot, and we'll get to why. But when you look at Shrek now, the animation looks janky, but it's
still, got its own charm. Shrek.
Yeah, it's still passable.
Shrek holds up.
Or you
on
look
some
at
level.
the cartoons you watched as a kid. Your Pokemons, your Transformers.
Builder blocks.
Bob the Builder, that type of stuff.
Fireman Sam.
It's
the Thomas the Tank Engine 2001 reboot,
which was animated and not like a little model thing.
It was animated.
I can't remember, but
and that's not Thomas and the Magic Railroad you're talking
No,
about.
Thomas the Magic Railroad.
The live action movie with Alec Baldwin.
And Mara Wilson. Great film. That might be next on the list.
It's not.
It might be.
No. When you look
when
you look at those things, there's still a bit of art.
They're pretty bad, but they at least feel like they have love poured into them.
And then you put on the movie Hoodwinked, and honestly, like, and I'll get to it. The script, because the script is something I need to talk about. It's distracting from the masterpiece that is this film of how bad it looks, because there's points where you're like, I'm genuinely engaged. I'm really enjoying. And you're fucking Jesus. What is that? What am I looking at? That's awful. What?
Phil, just you've got your phone. When did the film actually come out? 2003. It looks
2005.
2005, even later.
So
he said that so confidently.
4 years. I say everything confidently. 4 years after Shrek, this movie came out.
It looks like it is compiled of PlayStation 1 FMVC.
You ever seen Ratatouille? That's the one movie I'm looking up right now.
Sorry, wait, Ratatouille?
Yeah, all these like knockoff.
Sorry, you mean
blockbusters.
The Disney classic Ratatouille?
Well, this is the thing. Like people, I think this is a Brazilian animation studio decided, we're going to try and profit off of Ratatouille by making this movie in 4 months called Ratatouille, and it's just going to be a rat that's a chef. And we're not really going to have any plot or anything to it, and we're going to animate it so cheaply and quickly that we're just going to try and trick people into buying this movie.
And how did that?
And it looks exactly like this.
How did it do for the Brazilian community?
I don't know.
Not well. During the literally as we
there's a screenshot for you.
As we put this DVD in, I started making notes because I knew I needed to make notes because there's a lot that's happening.
Had to.
And out of the 12 notes, one of the notes I have was, if it doesn't move, it looks fine. And that's one of my thoughts, where like, if the movie is like a still shot, you're like, that's not bad. But the minute a character starts to move in any way, it's just
Did you also notice
parts.
that if it's not a like main character, if it's not something that the camera is focusing on, i.e. a background tree or rock
they're stills.
water, they're still, and they also look like shit.
It looks like some of the animation is... So another note that I made was, It had everything except animation, which is the most fascinating aspect. Because if you look at this entire film, like the voice act.
No, but that's actually such a good review. It's like they poured their time into every other aspect of this film. And then they were like, right, we've got it. We've recorded all the lines. We've got the script down. We recorded the script. It's amazing. We got these voice actors lined up. Sick. How much did you leave for the animation budget? Oh, fuck. Yeah. I can't believe...
That's legitimately what happened. No, seriously, I'm looking this up right now. Do you want to know the budget for this movie?
Bit about this movie is the animation.
The budget for this movie was $8 million.
What?
Which is nothing
That's
for an animated.
nothing.
It's because, quote here, due to the film's low budget, its animation was produced in the Philippines with a less realistic design inspired by stop motion films.
Inspired by stop motion?
Yeah.
That sounds like it's so janky, we'll just say it's inspired by stop motion.
Yeah.
Because there are scenes where like characters move in a way where it's like it looks almost robotic like.
You could have said it was inspired by a shit, and I would have agreed with it. It's bad. But yes, the animation's horrendous.
Because here's the crowning achievement of this movie, and it's the thing I love the most.
The Wikipedia article. That's the crowning achievement. This is gold. I would highly recommend anyone
Read
go
the
and
Wikipedia
read the
article.
Wikipedia article because it's beautiful.
Is this movie, from a script standpoint, might be one of the best scripts ever written. Ever. And that's a genuine statement, because if you watch this movie, the structure of the story, the little character moments, the little side jokes, the little bits,
because it's and for anyone that's never seen Hoodwinked, it's a whodunit.
You absolutely must.
It's a whodunit, right? It's a whodunit.
Yeah.
It's a non-linear crime drama.
Non-linear crime drama.
As described by the Wikipedia article.
Done in the form of a whodunit.
Inspired by Rashomon and Pulp Fiction.
I was going to say Tarantino would love this.
And just to paint the picture for anyone, the story is of Little Red Riding Hood, who is going through the forest. She eventually winds up at Granny's house. Granny is portrayed by the Big Bad Wolf. The Big Bad Wolf lies, said she isn't Granny. Woodsman comes through the window swinging an axe. Granny busts out, is still alive, tied up. Cue the police entry to try and solve the crime of WTF is going on. And I suppose from the back of the box, a mystery unfolds. Why was Granny tied up? Why is the wolf impersonating Granny? Who is the woodsman?
And we're not going to spoil it, but
why the fuck not? We spoil everything on this podcast. Why would we not spoil this?
Because I want people to genuinely go watch this movie. Because from my standpoint, this being the first time I watched it, as the revelations unfolded and I got to solve the mystery along with the movie, I was like, this is genius. This is on levels of Poirot and learn to
Agatha Christie, eat your fucking heart out.
Yeah, exactly. As things
One of
unfold,
the characters
like,
does look like Poirot.
He does.
Yeah.
Voiced by John Cleese.
It's not John Cleese.
It sounds like John Cleese.
It looks like John Cleese and it sounds like John Cleese, but it's not John Cleese.
Who is the granny? Jane Fonda?
Glenn Close.
Glenn Close. Better than Jane Fonda.
As this movie unfolds and you get to discover the mystery, and I was turning to used to like, oh, it's this, it's that, and used to are like, maybe it is. And I'm like, I'm having fun because I'm engaged with the movie. Like,
it's good knowing you said, I thought you were just taking the piss, but it's nice to know you actually weren't.
I was enjoying my experience watching Hoodwinked. Genuinely. Maybe it's because I've had a fair bit of booze, or maybe it's just because we're hanging out, like having. But maybe if I watched it alone, I don't know.
I think you'd still enjoy it. I'm with you, man. I think the script. I think as far as the film goes, the script is
so well written
at this point, and that is from the whodunit, like a non-linear crime drama. Thank you, Phil.
It makes it sound like it's a fucking one of those Swedish noir films.
From that point in its entirety, the gags following the kind of like whodunit setup, the gags are just good. You go through the film, and the first person you get is Red Riding Hood story, followed by the wolves, and Red Riding Hood story is pretty by the numbers. And to be honest, I actually think it does that for a reason. I think you watch the Red Riding Hoods, and you're like, I mean, this is a bit shit. It's still got some funny gags, but it's a bit like
it's lulling you in with this is going to be a pretty.
I get it. She's singing a song.
Yeah.
She's got birds lifting up her bike. I get the gag, whatever. Then Patrick Warburton's wolf comes in and just starts laying the groundwork for...
I'd just like to say, the note I put down here, Patrick Warburton is perfect and the best part.
He 100% is the best bit of the film. Like, hands down.
Every line delivery is perfect.
He is doing Patrick Warburton. He's just doing that like, oh, I wish I wasn't here. My character kind of hates it, but he's got to go through the motions. But yeah, playing this wolf that's a reporter, like a news journalist, sorry. So he's trying to solve the crime. So then you get that bit, and at least that's kind of tongue-in-cheek enough that you're like, oh, wait, fuck, I'm perked up. Like, all right. So the regular story from Red Riding Hood, she's delivering the goodies to Granny. She gets attacked by the wolf. The wolf seems like a dick. Then you get the wolf side where he's like, no, I didn't roar at her. My tail got caught and I screamed.
All the little bits, like they added a little more bits of why these happening,
Yeah,
how we got here, and like, oh, like it's filling out more of this little
narrative. The
this
wolf.
narrative
Like, oh, okay, wait. So
filling.
maybe the wolf isn't the bad guy. And then to like seal the deal on, look, we don't give a fuck. We're just having fun with
We're
this.
just going
The woodsman-
right off the rails.
The woodsman comes in and is like, Woodsman, what do you know? And he's like, I am actor. I am actor. I'm doing this. And it just becomes clear, like, he hasn't got a fucking clue. Like, he's not even to do with anything in the film.
He is in no way relevant to the story, but we're going to spend a good 10 minutes on him anyway because it's fun. And it's just fun.
That's also the scene where the animators, I think, were like, we know this looks like hot shit. So let's just put in some real bad animation. It's just a laugh at this point.
But again, coming back to the animation and the script is as the movie progresses and you get to the woodsman stuff and you get to the granny stuff and then you get to who the actual villain is, I genuinely found myself getting...
I can't believe this is the one film you've decided to not spoiler alert and not doing your best to sidestep
I want
any and
people to
all
go watch
spoilers.
Hoodwinked because I'm going to end this with a...
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Meandering Movie Podcast, episode like 150.
Fuck knows.
Gavin, the pretentious Serbian film-loving wanker.
I've never seen a Serbian... I have seen it.
You've seen Serbian films. Maybe a Serbian film. The lover of French nouveau movies and lover of ghost films set around a bomb in
Not
Iran,
Ghost Bomb.
whatever the fuck that film was, is telling you to go and watch Hoodwinked.
Yes. Go and watch Hoodwinked, people. Like, here's the thing. You look at we've got the DVD over here. You look at the DVD front cover and stuff, and you hear the plot, and they're trying to hoodwink you into not watching it.
It's true.
But you
Try and
need
hoodwink you with the DVD intro music.
the intro music,
Which I've been listening to for, give me a time check, please.
You've been listening to that for 25 minutes.
25 minutes on repeat.
How you feeling?
Fucking great.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like the whole film is trying to pull the wool over your eyes.
But here's the thing. Because the script is so good, the characters are so funny, the way the little set pieces play out, I got I got wonderfully gifted into an experience where I forgot how bad the film looked. And I was just kind of like, I'm invested. I know what's happening because we're playing along and we're guessing, but I'm still like, I want to see the next joke. I want to see this play out. And then every so often, every little moment, you're just kind of, oh, this is nice. And then the movie just goes, slam. Here's some awful fucking animation. It's just going to kick you in the eyes.
Here's a river. The wolf's in the river, but he's not. His head's in the river, and the rest of it's just like photoshopped out with a
everything's
fuzz.
moving, but his head isn't. And it's just like, oh my God, it looks so terrible.
It also, and this is the other weird thing in this film. As strong as the script is and as strong as the characters are, it also, I don't know if it's studio based or just because they were like, oh, kids would like this. It also just throws in these weird curvefuls where it's like, what if we had a goat that sings a song about his horns? He yodels. Yeah, fuck it. Put him in. Put him in. He'll fill 5 minutes. There's a lot of odd choices in this film, but yeah, at its core, it just holds together. It's a solidly good film.
But here is the one failure I feel.
Oh, it's a flaw.
Because I found a flaw in Hoodwinked, and I made a note of it.
I love the film. I feel like I could name a bunch of flaws.
I can't. I can only name one. I can only name two: the animation and this other one. The other flaw of this film, and why I feel it did not succeed, and why it didn't become the kind of cultural Shrek-phenomenon that we all now live through.
Fuck off. How long have you been waiting to say that word?
I just came up with that there, genuinely off the top of my head.
Absolutely written that down.
I have that, you can check my notes. I have not typed down Shrek-phenomenon.
Okay, so why did this film not become the Shrek-phenomenon that you believe it should have
Because this film is written for us. Kids will not get 90% of the jokes.
Yeah,
in
there
this
are
movie.
more. It feels like there are more teen to adult like humorous moments than there are ones for kids,
Like
and the
watching-
animation does not hold up enough for kids to be sucked in on that front.
This film is doing the Monty Python of nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Do you get
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
Of like we're gonna reference your old Red Riding Hoods and stuff. These things, these kids, but are also just gonna make like weird references to things that kids will not understand, but we will
Exhibit's
understand.
in the film.
Exhibit.
Exhibit plays the police
Oh,
a
yeah,
bear.
Yeah.
But I mean, that kind of says enough for which kid is watching this. Like, oh man, I fucking
I
love
love Exhibit.
Exhibit's my
Right.
favorite rapper turned voice actor.
Because the usual balance, if you watch a Shrek or like Robots with Ewan McGregor, because that just came into my head.
Ewan McGregor, Robin Williams, Michelle McCarthy.
Are they in Robots?
Robin Williams.
Oh yeah,
is.
Rob. Okay, yeah. But like, if you look at
I
those
don't know if
movies,
Michelle McCarthy's in
they
Robots.
find the balance of.
Yeah, Melissa McCarthy. Is she in Robots?
I don't recall.
Is it Renee Zellweger?
No, she's in a
Didn't also come out
that
the same
Invisible
year.
with Arthur and the Invisibles.
No, she was in the one with Ewan McGregor. I don't know if it's the alcohol or what's happening, but we are just talking about Renee Zellweger in a strange blend.
But
We're just working backwards.
if you look at Shrek or Robots, they do the balance. They make the
Robots
joke.
came out the same year as this movie.
What? No way.
No, it did not.
No way, because Robots. Although
Ewan
Robots
McGregor,
isn't
Halle
great,
Berry, Greg Kinnear, Mel Brooks,
Berry.
Amanda Bynes, Drew Carey, Robin Williams.
Robots looks
Kenny.
good.
Robots still looks good.
This-
People go watch Robots. It's all right.
A lot of adult jokes in Robots.
What a what?
A lot of adult jokes in
But
Robots.
that's the thing I was
Yeah, do
going
you
to
remember
say.
when they put the little nut in the baby?
Yes.
They just hammer in his dick.
When you watch Robots, it has the jokes for the kids and it has the jokes for the parents taking the kids to the cinema.
Yep.
If you go to watch Hoodwinked, which was definitely not released in any cinema because it was released on fucking Pirate Bay. It's like when you... I don't even know if Pirate Bay is still a thing, but
I think it might have been released on LimeWire, maybe.
it was definitely LimeWire. Napster were like, fuck
Well, I
it.
should say, the budget of $8 million. It was definitely released because it made $110 million.
That's...
What?
Yeah.
This film made
It
100
cost
Because
$8
it-
million.
102
and it made
million.
Yeah.
But that's because it hoodwinked parents into thinking it's something we can take the kids
I remember
to at
seeing
the
adverts
weekend.
for it when I was a kid.
I do not. I didn't know about this movie until you talked about it.
And aren't you happy?
I'm so happy you brought this into my
So
life.
you like the animation, we've agreed, dog shit. You like the script?
I
You like
love the script. I
characters?
love the Patrick Warburton. I like the voice cast.
Smashed it.
Really good.
Next point. What's your...
The next point I have is...
Well, are we point 4 at this? Point 4 or 5 or 3?
Oh, I've already ticked off
1, 2, 3,
5 of the
5.
12.
Oh, holy shit. We're burning through
Oh
it.
yeah,
quick
here's the next big thing I'm excited about to talk about. This Hoodwinked is the one and only film that exists that has taken inspiration from the Triple X movie. No other movie,
Inspiration is putting it lightly.
no other movie that has ever existed before, during, or after the world of Triple X has ever taken inspiration from Vin Diesel's 2004 Triple X movie.
It's funny because a lot of the criticism that goes into Shrek and Shrek 2 is that outside of the time capsule that they exist in, those films, especially Shrek 2, don't hold up. They don't hold up because if you watch Shrek 2 outside of its kind of 5 to 10 year bubble, a lot of the jokes start to make less and less sense.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Because they're a bit like I mean, like
Most of them are still alright.
Scary Movie is the epitome of
Yeah.
like If you didn't watch Scary Movie in the 90s,
Yeah.
none of it makes fucking sense
Political
because
jokes
it's
at
so
the time and stuff. Yeah.
and that's not just Scary Movie. It's Scary Movie 2, Scary
It's
Movie
all
3.
those type of movies where it's like, let's
Epic
make a reference
movie.
to Kim Kardashian or the 300 or
Yeah,
shit. You're just like,
we're gonna make these references to these things, and if you weren't alive or if you aren't like in pop culture these times, it doesn't play. And a lot of people say that Shrek and Shrek 2 and Shrek 3 and Shrek 4 all fall prey to that.
incorrect.
But not Hoodwinked, except the Triple X references.
Here's the most
Kind of a
amazing.
major plot point as well.
Hoodwinked is timeless minus Triple X.
Oh man, it's such a big thing as well.
That was one of my favorite notes to write down, was just that this movie was inspired by...
I also love that the plot point in the film is, hey, I'm Little Red Riding Hood. My granny doesn't lie to me. Yeah, well, what about the triple G tattoo on the back of her neck? Granny, you have a triple G tattoo? And then the camera pans around and it's not like hidden under a fucking doily or anything. It's just on
plain
plain
to
sight
see.
on the back of her neck. And Red's like, oh my God, I've never seen that before.
Because she's so little, you know?
And then it just cuts to like her doing Vin Diesel's Triple X, but like the snowboarding stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing. The German bad guys are a special touch in Hoodwinked. They're clearly meant to be like Die Hard-esque baddies, right?
Or like, I was thinking of Sylvester Stallone's movie Cliffhanger. That's what they made me think of.
They just have that quintessential 90s German bad guy vibe.
I think it's just because they were wearing like
They
the
make a joke out of it as well. Because one of them doesn't have a bad guy name.
Keith.
Keith. They call him Keith, and he's like,
Yeah.
"No, you're going to be like Boris or something." Like,
Yeah.
It's a good gag.
That's when the animation though was at its worst. When
The
it's
human characters.
like, because the animals you can kind of get away with, like a squirrel or a fox or a wolf. But then when you try to do a human-like character, it looks
And it's not like there's
worst.
only one of them. There's a bunch of human
Because you got Red
characters.
Riding Hood, and then you got four
Granny.
of
You got the woodsman. And then you
and
have
the
the four,
woodsman as well,
the
and the
four
kids,
evil
like
guys.
the
The kids
are the
100%.
worst.
The kids are 100% the animators being like, we don't care. We know it's bad. We're just going to make it as bad as possible. You were on your phone for that sequence, and it's fine because I
was
appreciate
making
it.
notes.
I appreciate it, but I feel like you missed the full
Yeah.
assault on your senses of how
Proper
bad
nightmare fuel.
of how bad the
Kids sticking
animation is
schnitzel up
during
their
those scenes.
noses.
Yeah, what the fuck is that about?
Terrifying.
I feel like you missed out on that. But yeah, the humans are particularly bad. I was going to say something
I think
about
it's
that,
just
but-
like the uncanny valley kind of looking thing of like
Oh, it's
their-
not even uncanny
the
valley.
structure of their face just looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's not great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, point number 7.
Okay, this point takes us all the way back to the beginning, so far back that it's when the movie wasn't even playing yet.
The Harvey Weinstein Company logo.
We're getting
Or
there.
pre.
It's pre-Weinstein.
Pre-Weinstein.
Company. Yeah, that's right. This movie was it this movie or just a different movie that was Weinstein produced?
No, this is a Weinstein.
Is this a Weinstein movie?
this is a
one?
Weinstein
Yeah.
Company.
So this is a
production.
Weinstein movie.
Unfortunately.
There's a nice big special thanks to Bob and Harvey Weinstein at the end of this credits.
Wait, no, was that?
Yeah.
I missed it. I was too busy drinking.
Well, I've now ticked that point off. So we talked about the
Ruh-roh.
Weinstein, but the point is I want to talk
Ruh-roh.
about is the movie Arthur and the Invisibles
Yeah.
has the cast of Snoop Dogg, Madonna, and was directed by Luc Besson.
Do not forget the third musician they decided to hire for a voice acting role in,
in Arthur and the
Invisible.
Invisibles.
Snoop Dogg,
And Madonna.
and
I have no idea.
David Bowie.
Oh yeah, David Bowie.
Also starring Mia Farrow from The Shining.
And Mia Farrow.
Also produced by the Weinsteins.
But also
Filmed by Luc Besson.
directed by Luc Besson,
Yeah.
which blew like we weren't recording at this like at any of this point, but I lost my mind at that revelation that Luc Besson. One, I've never heard of Arthur and the Invisibles, so that might be the next movie we watch.
It's the same as James and the Giant Peach, right? Because it's a real live action kid and he shrinks down to animated.
Do we want to make the proclamation now that the next movie after Hoodwinked we watch is Arthur and the Invisibles?
I thought it would be Hoodwinked 2, but I'm fine with Arthur
Hood
and the
versus
Invisibles.
Evil.
I don't think we should ever watch Hoodwinked 2. because I don't think it's ever going to match the
Of course, it's not. Nothing will match that. That's a masterpiece.
unless it has
It's
more.
a badly animated masterpiece, but it's a masterpiece.
It's a it's one of the worst animated movies ever made, but it's a masterpiece. It makes games on the N64 look current. It's just like,
PlayStation 1. It's better than N64 graphics. It is worse than PlayStation 1 cutscenes. That's where it lands. And
that's not a good place to land for
it's not. It's a terrible
2005.
place to go. But considering it came out after the PS2 is launched, it's awful. It's horrendous. But that's exactly where it lands. Better than N64, worse than PS1. Arthur and the Invisibles looked horrible.
Is that
It looked
because they
like-
just found a really bad rip of it and then stuck it on the front of the DVD?
It's also because it's live action / animated.
It's also like it fell into that same place where they were like, oh, Shark Tale, Arthur the Invisibles. Do we need voice actors? No, we could just pay
We
musicians.
just get Snoop Dogg and Madonna.
We just get musicians. Are they
do,
cheaper?
baby.
I mean, they're probably about the same when they've got fucking clout. Bang them in.
Yeah, you
get
can
as
sell
many
them.
as fucking possible as you fucking can. Harvey and
that
Paul
is Shrek's fault
Weinstein.
that started. That was the first time that anyone tried that. And
What,
they're
Shrek
like,
did it?
Yeah. So they're like, oh shit.
Wait, which musicians are in Shrek?
Well, just the idea of getting celebrities instead of like voice actors.
What, Shark Tale or Shrek?
Shrek.
Shark Tale had Christina Aguilera.
Yeah, because that came after Shrek.
Okay, pause for a second. I've never seen Gary say anything with more conviction than the way he looked at Audio Boy and went, Shark Tale had Christina Aguilera, I'll have you know. Just
I
like
did.
the way you said that, I was just like, so fuck you, alright? Shark Tale had Christina Aguilera.
Was Shrek first?
Yeah, Shrek was first, and it started this trend of let's get big name celebrities in animated movies,
Before
which
Shark
is now
Tale?
very much the model of how things are done.
Are you sure?
Philip
Yes.
is actually incorrect.
Shrek's 2001, I'm pretty
Philip
sure.
is incorrect, and here's why I'm going to tell Philip he's incorrect / Audio Boy.
Do it.
Is it because Shark Tale had Christina
Audio,
Aguilera?
2 points. Audio Boy comes crashing back into the podcast and, as usual, gives incorrect facts. And Gavin's
What
here.
I'm here for, baby.
Gavin's here. You're too lost.
Fake news.
You're too lost in the menu music for Hoodwinked to understand what's going on, Audio Boy. But here,
I'm lying. That's not where
but
we are.
here's
at
the
that point.
truth. Here's the truth. Shrek was the catalyst for music being used in animated films, but was not the catalyst
Yeah.
for celebrities being used in animated films.
That was
Like
Billy-
Gods
so,
of Egypt.
so its use of
Billy Conroy.
Hallelujah and what's your name? People who did the ending song,
The Smashing Pumpkins.
Smashing Pumpkins.
Smash
And Smashing
the
Pumpkins.
Smashing Pumpkin Mouse.
Smashing Pumpkins are in Shrek.
And
Yes, they do.
the first one.
Maybe the second one. Wait, are the Smashing Pumpkins in Shrek?
No, it's Smash Mouth.
I swear the Smashing Pumpkins.
They're
did the
not.
Shrek
Maybe.
thing.
But Shrek was the catalyst for using trendy music for scenes in animated movies, not actors. So you are
Okay,
incorrect.
well, what was the catalyst for that?
It was whatever Justin Timberlake was in. I know what it was. It was Illumination of their movies, which they would just be like,
Which
hey,
came out like 10 years after Shrek.
and that was a catalyst.
By that point, you'd already had Shark Tale.
No, because in
Shark
Shrek,
Tale was out.
I'm
yeah, but
telling you.
no, but Shrek
The
had.
Shrek started
Bob
the celebrity
Marley's
actors
son.
trend.
Bob Marley's son was in Shark
It
Tale.
may have been Shark Tale, but it
Ziggy
wasn't
Marley.
Shrek.
It was most
He
definitely
sung.
Shrek.
No, because Shrek
he
was
sung
Mike
Don't
Myers,
Worry.
Cameron Diaz, and John Lithgow. Like,
And Eddie Murphy.
John Lithgow.
yeah, but
Those are
no,
big names in 2001.
No, it wasn't.
They weren't musicians
it-
either. Eddie Murphy has a song.
That's what I'm saying.
Party all
I'm
the
saying
time,
Shrek
party
wasn't.
all the time.
What are you doing?
Can't use that for
Shrek
copyright.
wasn't the catalyst
That's Eddie
for
Murphy.
for using just using celebrities. Shrek was the catalyst for the music,
Yep.
not the actors.
I'm saying it's both.
Well, you're wrong, and this
The
is
mu-
why this is your last episode for another 2
Decade.
years.
3 years.
The Muppets also had celebrities on them.
As themselves.
No, they were the celebrity guests on the Muppets.
Yeah, as themselves, right?
Well, the celebrities. Some of
They,
them.
they weren't the Muppets.
Do you know what's the awkward
Muppets
thing
were
in
the
the Sonic
Muppets.
movies? They had no celebrities in it. They had James Marsden.
Yeah, James Bond's not a good celebrity to be in Sonic. But he had Jim Carrey, though.
No, you should have ended that sentence with James Marsden's not a good celebrity.
Oh, poor guy.
James Marsden is the cookie dough sans chocolate chips of the acting world.
I don't know what you just said.
He's just boring. He's just cookie dough. He's just
James Marsden
ready to be
is
popped in the oven. He's like the
You
Pillsbury
put him in the oven,
Doughboy.
and then one of the Chris's come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
James Marsden's an interesting one because he has the look of Hollywood leading man, but he falls
Absolutely.
into that camp of
Pillsbury Doughboy.
he's just so nothing.
You get it. He's just ready to be baked. He's like an unbaked dough man. He's
an unbaked
he has
Chris.
nothing. He has nothing. Point number 8.
My last point that I have 2 more points.
We've churned
3
through
more
these.
points that I want to make. Is it 3 more? Yeah, I have 3 more points I
Okay.
want to make. We've done Arthur and the Invisibles. We will return to that at some point in the future.
I've just realised that Toy Story was before Shrek. I'd like to retract my previous statement and say that Toy Story.
Toy Story was not the catalyst for famous voice.
Eddie Murphy was in
Mulan.
Mulan.
Eddie Murphy wasn't.
Robin Williams.
No, but
Robin Williams was in Aladdin.
no, it was.
Jeremy Irons was in The Lion King.
Here's what.
James Earl Jones was in The Lion
Here's
King.
what Robin Williams was a catalyst for. Robin Williams was a catalyst for the funny sidekick just makes all your jokes in animated films. Because then you had your Eddie Murphy in Mulan,
Unlimited
Yeah, Eddie
cosmic
Murphy in
power!
Shrek.
and that's where it went from. My next
Hey,
point.
look, I'm getting beaten by a rug. That's Robin Williams doing an impression of Rodney Dangerfield in the film Aladdin, where he plays the genie doing an impression of Rodney Dangerfield getting beaten by a magic rug playing
I would
chess.
like to ask Audio
It's
Boy.
my favorite joke in the entire Aladdin film.
I would like to ask Audio Boy to get me another beer, please. Also, Gary would
I just
like
remembered
another-
why I stopped participating in this podcast.
You became
I
our.
became your butler.
My other favorite joke in Aladdin is when the genie goes, he's doing a Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
I can't remember the line, but I like it.
It's the one where
You gotta listen to me, Aladdin. You
But
gotta do what
that's
I'm
a perfect
saying,
example.
man.
That's a joke for the adults. The kids don't get it because they don't know.
But the Rodney Dangerfield, I feel like at least Jack Nicholson's well known, whereas the Rodney Dangerfield reference is
Oh my god!
so. It's like it's not even a good celebrity to be referencing
It's
in the
like
film.
Ryan
Oh
Reynolds.
God, I'm getting beaten by a rug.
It's like Ryan Reynolds at this point, where all of his references, like people don't get because they're just so old-fashioned.
Old-fashioned Ryan Reynolds.
No, Ryan Reynolds' references are like
Oh, what a
Deadpool.
boy.
The references are so old-fashioned that people. Thank you for the beer. People.
Yeah,
don't
it's
get
like
it
the
at
other way around.
this. So
Like he talks about Voltron.
my last.
Did you ever watch Voltron?
No, my third last point. They always say that
Do you remember Happy Feet? Robin Williams was in Happy Feet.
directed by George Miller, did the Mad Max movies. My third last point is there's an
We can't be near the end of this already.
there's an exclamation point at the end of this bullet point, which is wants to be Shrek, because we've been
You
touching
can't
upon,
just say that.
we've been touching upon Shrek throughout this entire and I said Shrek
I
was
like
going
to touch upon Shrek.
I mean,
And I'd let Shrek
Shrek
touch
is love,
upon me.
Shrek is life.
I would abso-slam Ogre Drew Barrymore.
No, I would.
Princess Fiona.
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron. Oh,
Yeah.
I would absolutely slam Ogre Drew Barrymore. No, Cameron Diaz. Fucking hell. I would let Princess Fiona as an ogre destroy me and my entire crotch area. See, sit on me and I'd be gone. Snap like a twig and I'd be happy with it. Stop, say something. Stop looking at me.
So Shrek came out.
Episode is descending to madness.
Shrek came out, and definitely they were like, "We want to capitalize on the fairy tale Shrek
on the
stuff.
hoodwinked trend.
And we want to make references to other things and be funny.
Like hoodwinked.
Like no, Hoodwinked took from Shrek.
I think Shrek was following the hoodwink trend.
Shrek came out 4 years before this movie. That doesn't make sense.
I mean, it's another movie that also like factors in like your old like,
Futurama. Futurama did it.
I was gonna say fables, but that's not it.
Simpsons
Fairy
did it.
tales.
Fairy
I
tales,
just
thank
said
you.
fairy tales.
Sorry,
Is this thing on? Is anyone listening to me? Hello?
I can't hear you over the sound of
I think
the DVD
Sorry.
intro music.
you, Karen, I have one extra point to add to this, but you, Karen. Yeah, I Shrek. This is definitely like lent onto the like, animation for kids, but we're gonna stick in a bunch of adult jokes and then it will get.
Then it
adults
just
to
became all adult jokes.
Yeah, they did.
There's not a single kid joke in this.
I think you went in, and I don't know if you'll leave it in or not. One of my absolute favorite gags in this is when the three little pigs are playing poker with a raccoon, and one of the pigs the raccoon's like, what do you mean that's a full house? And the pig goes, look, I know my houses, all right? I built mine out of straw. I'm not an idiot.
I think my favorite one
But
was
he says it's so dead. But look, I made mine out of straw, okay? I'm not an idiot. It's such a fucking dumb gag, but it's so good.
that's this entire movie though.
It's
is
so good.
It's dumb jokes that just fucking hit right, and they feel good, but they look awful, and it's just like.
It's amazing. What's your favorite joke?
I was going to say it's when the raccoons, like, they're all about to walk outside, like, and the police officer raccoon's like, think I can go through the garbage? As he walks out of the room. Just like a passing, just like, think I can look through the garbage? Just like,
oh, it's so many good jags. Well, I was going to say something there. Oh, yeah, the other point you've missed in this, and it's another one of these
maybe I've got it here and you don't know.
inexplicable choices. Bar the directors of the films writing original songs for the soundtrack.
Oh yeah, she put it. Yeah,
They also got in Ben Folds.
You used to keep going on about this guy, Ben Folds.
It's not like Ben Folds is an unknown. He's a pretty well-known musician.
I don't do music. This is an old thing. I don't know if anyone remembers, but at one point in my life, music was my life.
I remember
it's
that.
not anymore.
I remember when music was your life so much that you that was like this slogan. You kept saying it over and over. You got it tattooed on you
There was
at one
someone
point.
we used to know someone as well who would like reference it every so often in podcasts and say, I don't know if they don't know who they are.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, it doesn't ring a bell.
But yeah, it's just weird that they got in.
There, come back to me.
It's weird they got in. Ben Folds. Who's the other one? There's one other person that wrote in a song that we were like, oh fuck, that's a actual name. Wasn't there? Or am I just misremembering that?
Daniel Rogers was the name that came up, but I can't say I know who that is.
You don't know Daniel Rogers of Hoodwinked fame?
I know a Danny Rogers who's a goalkeeper for I can't remember who now. but-
The other, it feels like Over
West
the Hedge.
Lothian.
Remember Over the Hedge?
Sure.
Yeah. Again, I've not seen it.
It's very Over the Hedge. Over the Hedge maybe isn't as funny as this, but it's the same kind of cheap,
Is the
shitty
animation better?
Definitely better
Yeah.
than this.
Very emotional movie, I would say.
It's quite emotional, but it's also one of those films where they were like, we're going to make an animated film for kids. All right, sick. And then they just forgot to make it for kids. Other than it's talking animals.
That's Hoodwinked.
Yeah, no, exactly. Other than it being talking animals, Over the Hedge especially is like, I don't know, it's not like, other than it being talking animals, it's not really a kid's film. It's just like a bunch of kind of grown-up things happening, and it's only funny because it's animals. This is the same thing. Like, it's a really good film. The only reason it feels like it's for kids is because it's animated and they put a bunch of talking animals in it.
I mean, I suppose it's too big of a question at this point when we're so deep into the episode. But at this, I'm going to ask anyway.
Ask it.
It's the idea that an animated movie has to be for kids. Why do we?
Nobody says that except you. You're the only person I know that's like, I'm going to watch this. It's animated. It's for kids. I tell
I've
you
never
all the
once
fucking
said
time.
that.
You fucking liar!
I've never-
I say it all the time. I'm like, you should go watch this film. It's animated. And you're like, nah, not for me.
No,
It's
but
for
I
kids.
don't just animated movies because I think or I give the idea that they're for kids.
I told you to watch Fudanari Girls 301 on X Hamster the other day. And you said, I'm not watching that.
I was going to say.
I'm not watching that. It's a fucking cartoon.
X13.
Yeah, I told you to watch it. You said, this looks like a cartoon. And I said, it's not for kids. And you went, yeah, well, I'm not watching that.
I'm going to wait for this
Some
question.
great plot in that.
It's some real good plot in that.
Big old titties.
And big old dickies.
My second last point. I've actually added a third point. No, my second last point is that there is a studio out there that makes animated movies that
Yes.
wishes, begs, desires to be on the same level as Hoodwinked. And that is anything produced, animated, and made by Illumination Studios wishes it could get on to the same level as Hoodwinked.
Illumination Studios has just recently they've just recently brought out the new Minions film, which is
A prequel.
That's the best
Minions-
soundtrack I've seen in a very long time.
Rise of Gru, right?
Yeah.
And like the Minions, as far as I can tell, are just pure physical comedy.
Yeah, they're just Charlie Chaplin.
They're the
or-
Mr. Blobbies of the 2020s. Mr. Bean was Mr. Blobby was the Mr. Bean of the 90s.
Stop saying so many bees.
I hated that sentence.
Mr.
He was
Blobby was
Mr. Blobby was the Mr. Bean. No, not the 90s. It was like the 2000s. Mr. Bean was the chaplain of the 90s. Stan and Laurel were the chaplains
Laurel
of
and Hardy. Laurel and Hardy?
Stan and Laurel. Stan, Laurel, and Oliver Hardy.
Yeah.
Stan and Laurel.
Laurel
are just the same
Hardy.
person.
Laurel and Hardy.
Laurel and Hardy were just the Charlie Chaplins of the 70s. And Charlie Chaplin was the Charlie Chaplin of the 40s and 50s.
So you just what's your point?
My point is that the minions are the blobbies of today. But I gave you a very quick
So
practical
profound.
history of slapstick comedy.
I love that you just spent 90 seconds to just get to minions were Mr. Blobby. It's just like,
Mr. Blobby did it better though.
well, of course it's Mr. Blobby. As long as the wee nonce Noel Edmonds wasn't around, Mr. Blobby was class.
Noel Edmonds isn't a nonce.
Oh, he's absolutely a nonce.
Is it what, like
allegedly.
Wait, an official nonce or like a BBC nonce?
Disclaimer: we have no proof to say that.
I am
that's true.
allegedly saying that Noel Edmonds is a nonce.
The minions don't speak English, do they? They speak like pidgin and
Yeah, other than
gibberish.
banana.
I love that you looked at me as if I was going to have an answer to that question.
No, but they don't. It's not just full
speak kind of-
gibberish.
yeah,
it's not full
sort of
gibberish.
half
It's like
words
pidgin
every now and
English
then,
and
yeah.
gibberish.
Yeah.
It's like they go like banana, banana, Gavin, hoodwinked.
It's like Simlish, you know? It's like the Sim language. Now you're just doing Scatman.
Babbity, 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 babbity. Skibbity, 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 bap.
Rest in peace, Scatman. But yeah, movies like Sing, the
Starring
recent
Scarlett Johansson.
the recent
Bradley
Grinch
Cooper.
movie with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Good film. I
the
like that.
Minions movie.
Minions film. Didn't watch it.
Other Illumination movies all wish they could be hoodwinked. And that's a genuine thing, I believe.
What is the most recent film? Did anybody see Bad Guys? What's the most recent film that came out that was definitely like an animated film with adults hardcore in mind?
Here's how I'm going to quickly answer my question so you can then speak to Audio Boy about this. Haven't seen any of that. Don't watch animated movies. There you go. Speak to Audio Boy.
I mean, the Bad Guys is out right now, I think. Yeah.
Is it good though?
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
The last thing I saw.
What a
along
great
those lines-
conversation
Yeah.
that was. Wow.
I saw Sing 2.
I watched an episode of Bluey the dog the other day. Have you seen Bluey?
Oh, Bluey. Okay. It's not what I thought you were saying.
What did you think I was saying?
Bluey?
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen Bluey the dog?
It's one of your special ex-hamster videos we're talking about.
This is a like
Bluey
genuine.
the dog.
This is a
It's a
genuine,
hamster. It's for kids.
genuine kids cartoon about a bunch of dogs that are from Australia, and they just—it's like like this episode. The dog's going to teach kids how to not be little shits. Like it's for children, but it's clearly written with kids are going to be watching this, but adults are going to have to watch this on repeat all day, every fucking day.
Yeah.
So we're going to write some good jokes into it. I seen a clip the other day where the kids are playing Pass the Parcel. And when I was growing up, Pass the Parcel was there was one parcel, you pass it around,
and you keep unwrapping. And keep
there was just
unwrapping.
one present though,
Yeah.
the one in the middle.
Yeah.
And if you didn't get that one, tough fucking shit, you out.
That kid got like the
Like the fucking the Super Soaker or the I don't know,
mini remote control
jigsaw
car or
or
something.
remote control car, whatever. There was one gift. Nowadays, in a Pass the Parcel, there's a gift on every level. So the kid unwraps it and you're like, yeah, I got a spinning top. Yeah, I got a Beyblade. Yeah, I got a Kinder Egg, whatever, right?
We have no idea what kids get these days, by the way. Because you said Beyblades, Kinder Eggs,
And spinning tops.
and spinning top.
I'm so
All things-
old.
Beyblades are just the spinning tops.
spinning
of
tops in
the
the
All things that
90s.
kids do not get right now.
Beyblades!
Yeah, but
anyway, wait.
Fidget spinners are just the Beyblades of the 2010s.
Anyway,
Hot
Bluey.
take from Audio Boy.
The sketch I seen of Bluey the other day is this
We're still on Bluey. I forgot about
Uncle
that.
fucking Dan or whatever his name is like, hey kids, we're gonna play Pass the Parcel. Here's the parcel. And all the kids start passing around and he's like, I'm not looking, look, I'm gonna press play, and when I'm not looking, when I press stop, open the parcel. It goes round, round, around, presses stop, some kid opens it and he goes, there's no present in here. And then Uncle Dan's like, yeah, of course there's no present in there. It's Pass the Parcel, right? We're going to press play. We're going to keep going. And the kid's like, ah! And he runs off screaming. So the kids keep playing it. And then the next kid pauses it. The next kid opens it. He's like, there's no present in here. And he's like, yeah, I know. It's Pass the Parcel. There's no present in every level. And the kid's like, ah! And runs off screaming. then the parents start heckling Uncle Dan. And they're like, what are you doing, Uncle Dan? And he's like, look, we're playing Pass the Parcel. This is the proper way to play it. He's like, Dan, it's not the bloody 80s, mate. But they're so angry at him. It's so fucking funny. Anyway, Hoodwink reminds me of Bluey. Bluey reminds me of Hoodwink because it's well written and it's for kids. And I love animation.
My last point for...
Oh, God, I'm getting beaten by a rug.
My last point for Hoodwinked. I almost forgot the name of the movie. I was thinking of Bluey there for a second. It's a thought that I overheard. It's a thought I overheard. It's a thing you said that I thought I'm going to take that and make it a note of mine. And it's something I now...
So you're just stealing my fucking...
It's now a thing. I want to use this podcast as a vessel, an inspiration to the people out there listening. All of you.
All four of you.
And I'll name you all right now.
Brian, Caboose, Gemma, and Sam.
Who the fuck?
Well, who are you naming?
What I want all four of you to do...
You look like a fucking tit now, don't you?
What I want all four of you to do is I want you to support the Kickstarter that we're going to start to get Hoodwinked reanimated.
It does need it. It would suffer... Not suffer. It would do so good from a reanimation. Can you even reanimate a film? Is that allowed?
100% you can. You just do like a 4K restoration.
Is that what we're calling it? Or are we just going to be...
Yeah, because think of all those
I
movies.
think we reanimated from scratch.
Think of like... There are two movies that require a 4K reanimated experience, and that's Hoodwinked and
Terminator
Titan
2.
AE.
Oh, Titan AE.
Titan AE
I feel
deserves...
I was going to say Cats.
Terminator 2
No,
could
Cats
do
is
with it as
perfect
well.
as it is. You don't want to touch that.
Terminator 2 could do with a 4K reanimation.
No. It's Titan...
If you reanimated the cop
no.
If you reanimated the cop from Terminator 2, you could
It's,
reanimate him a visor on, and you could make him RoboCop.
it's Hoodwinked and Titan
Imagine how
AE.
good that would be.
That's it.
RoboCop fighting and hunting down John Connor.
Have you seen they're doing a first-person RoboCop video game?
It looks pretty good.
It looks garbage. It looks,
I thought it looked pretty good.
looks as bad as fucking Hoodwinked.
I would put RoboCop into a lot of films.
Okay, like Hoodwinked,
Like this one?
Alien 3.
Bluey, the thing, the Bluey.
Alien 3 could do with a RoboCop. Terminator 2 could do with a RoboCop.
Alien 3 could do with a rewrite.
Total Recall, the Colin Farrell one, could do with a RoboCop. Dr. Parnassus Imaginarium. What was that name of that film?
Dr. Parnassus Imaginarium and Terium.
Dr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
Could do with a RoboCop.
Here's an idea I've just had that I'm going to make a podcast topic we do in the future.
You replace Exhibit with RoboCop in this movie.
RoboCop
I think
in
that would work.
Hoodwinked.
We just talk about movies, but if RoboCop was the lead character, and see how that plays out. That's a podcast topic
There
I'm
you
going to
go.
write down.
Bosh.
Good idea.
But yeah, before Gary
Beauty and the Beast with a RoboCop.
with RoboCop, but he's Beauty.
Yeah, he's Belle. He's
RoboCop's Belle.
I think that film would finish in 2 minutes because Gaston would be like, "Oh, Belle, I'm going to make you my wife. You are a piece of shit."
This fucking
Dead.
Because he's stealing everyone's eggs.
gun comes out thigh,
There's-
beast dead.
Right at the beginning of Beauty and the Beast, during the opening song, Provincial Life, aka Belle, one of the women goes, "I need 6 eggs," and another person goes, "That's too expensive." That's a line. And as a kid, I was always like, "Why are the eggs so expensive in Beauty and the Beast?" And then skip forward, not even 2 minutes, and no, it is a bit longer than 2 minutes, but it's
Yeah.
during Gaston's song when he's in the tavern, and he's like, "I eat 6 dozen eggs a day to grow large."
Now he's as big as a barge.
Big as a
That
barge.
whole
So it's just
thing.
inflation in Beauty and the Beast town. Gaston's eating 6 dozen eggs a day. No wonder they're expensive as shit. That guy knows he can jack the price up, and old fucking dumb Gaston's gonna keep turning up like, "Yo, 6 dozen eggs, my man. Yeah, 6. That's 8 gold pieces today. 7 gold pieces yesterday. Yeah, man. It's meant to be 6 silver pieces, but
Yeah,
you
man.
keep fucking buying them, and everyone else can fuck off." It's a monopoly. The guys are selling eggs at a huge markup because Gaston, the dumb fucking creatine-filled skaghead, just fucking keeps wolfing down eggs, shell and all. He's massive, tiny penis. Definitely got a
He's the Joe
steroid
Rogan
issue.
of medieval France.
He's the Joe Rogan of medieval France. Yeah, that's why the eggs are so expensive in Beauty and the Beast. What are we talking about?
I love how we went from RoboCop and Beauty and the Beast to the fucking egg market that's going on in the...
Hey, guy, I'm getting beaten by a rug. It's the best impression. My other favorite bit in Aladdin is when he is 10,000 bad guys with swords. That's the other bit in Aladdin I like.
So before I was
My favorite bit in Beauty and the Beast.
No.
Listen. My favorite bit in Beauty.
You're told.
My favorite bit in Beauty and the Beast is when Cogsworth goes, and as I always say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. It's a good bit. I have favorite lines from all the Disney films that aren't the most popular bits, but they are my favorite bits.
What's your favorite line from Milan?
From Mulan?
Yeah.
I don't think I like Mulan that much.
Okay, well, that was a good conversation. So my final point...
I think I like when the cricket goes.
It's too late. My final point is, everyone listening...
Oh, no, wait, no. I know what my favorite bit in Mulan is. Sorry. Genuinely, my favorite bit in Mulan is during the song...
my head is in my hands.
No, it's during the song... what's the song about the girls?
Will they make a man out of you?
No. The one that comes after that.
We'll make a woman out of you.
No, shut up. Phil, what's the song after I'll Make a Man Out of You where they're all singing about the girls they want to go home with?
I don't know.
Fuck. Anyway, there's a bit where the fat guy's like, I don't care how good she looks like. I just care how good she cooks like. And then all the other guys go, pork, chicken, beef. That's the best bit in Mulan. Sorry, I just
the
remembered.
misogyny.
Yeah, but no, because he
That's
doesn't.
the entire movie, to be
No,
fair.
because the rest of the soldiers only care how good the girls at home look like, and the fat one doesn't care how good they look. He only cares how well they cook, and then they all go pork, chicken.
He's one of the
beef."
good ones.
He's a good. He's
He's an
better.
ally.
Apparently, he's better than the rest. Anyway, that's my favorite. But you asked. There's your answer. That's the best bit in Mulan.
We
Just
don't...
to bring it right back round.
My favorite bit in Hercules is when Hades goes, I know you know, to the fates. We know. I know you know. That's the best bit in Hades.
Bring it back round. The Cogsworth, as you were talking about there, Beauty and the Beast.
Yep.
Was voiced by the same man that voiced the detective.
Not John Cleese.
But it's not John Cleese.
He's a frog, though.
Voiced the detective in this.
He's a real in real life. He's
Flippers.
a frog.
John Cleese is a frog in real life.
John
What
Cleese has
performance
turned
that
into a
was.
frog in real life.
No,
He's a
no.
bit of an odious prick now.
I mean, wouldn't you be if, you've been around for that long and just...
Like John Cleese is doing the whole like, oh, it's comedy. You can make as long as it's you're saying it in the realms of a joke. It's allowed. No, it's not, John Cleese. That's not how comedy works.
So we don't have an out for this episode. So the ending is going to be...
Name me more Disney films. I'll tell you my favorite lines.
The
in them.
ending is going to be now, so I
Okay.
don't have to do that. So we have given you what you promised. We've given you the Hoodwinked experience. Next up
And a call to arms.
will either be...
The call to
Let's
arms is go
reanimate
watch
this movie.
Hoodwinked,
Yes, the call to arms is get this movie reanimated.
and then we will reanimate Hoodwinked somehow. We
mean,
will
then-
start a Kickstarter. I will genuinely start a Kickstarter.
But then
about
here's
this.
the point. Here's the question, actually. I've just had this thought, this idea, this thing pop into my head. Is if we reanimate Hoodwinked, does it lose the magic that is Hoodwinked?
No,
No.
the script holds up itself. The animation, if anything, drags the film down into a. The script is like a B plus, maybe close
I give
to
it
an A.
I give it
Close to an A. The animation, however, drags it down
sure?
to the levels of a D movie. It's it's unbelievable how we've spoken about this before in the mic, where I'm like, how does somebody get to the end and they're like, right, should we just give this whole film a watch through start to finish? And then they went, yep, this will do. This animation is exactly what we were looking for. Who sat down and watched this and went, yeah, slap a fucking sticker on it. We're done. This is great.
I feel like after George Lucas and his producer stopped watching The Phantom Menace and went, fuck it, that'll do. They then watched Hoodwinked and went, fuck it, that'll do, and just put it out.
It's bad animation. But yeah, let's do it.
The next movie that we will then do this for is going to be Arthur and the Invisibles. I now want everyone to get excited. His audio boy
As
is
excited.
It's gonna be such a fucking letdown.
the fun
I
thing.
can feel it now.
No, the
already.
fun thing is that audio boy, you have not seen it.
No.
Gary, you have not seen it, and I, what did I say? The masochist of
You said something about bull torture.
masochist of bull torture. I have also not seen it. So Arthur and the Invisibles, starring Snoop Dogg, Madonna, and
David Bowie,
and David
Mia
Bowie,
Farrow,
and
Freddie Highmore,
directed by Luc Besson
Produced
of
by the
Fifth Element
Weinsteins.
fame.
It makes you think it has to be at least a film, even though it's weird and it's
Exactly.
got bad voice cast. It's still like Luc Besson surely wouldn't put out a turd.
I mean, are you
Oh, he's
losing
so-
your? Luc Besson has like 3 good movies. Like
Yeah, he made 4.
what? Are you saying that Arthur?
He made 4.
Arthur and the Invisibles is the 4th one?
I don't know. I haven't seen
Are
it.
you saying that Arthur Invisibles is the 4th one?
I sneezed to the left of the mic.
Are you saying that Arthur Invisibles is the 4th one? I'm going to use that to like. I don't know why I'm now talking like. Are you saying that Arthur Invisibles is the 4th one?
What 4 films did he have?
So you got. He had.
Stop looking at me.
He had Fifth Element. He
Good
got
film.
Leon the Professional.
Good film.
2.
2,
He's got Arthur and the Invisibles,
maybe.
and then
and Valerian, The City of a Thousand
it's
Planets,
not
or whatever
Valerian,
it's
it's
called.
City of a Thousand Planets. He's got
Bad film.
another one, but I can't remember.
Shrek 4.
Luc Besson was not involved in the Shrek franchise.
Lucy.
It's not Lucy.
Oh God, I'm getting beaten by a rug.
So, thank you everyone for listening to episode something of the Meandering Movie Podcast. I've genuinely forgotten at this point.
This is a mess.
No, this is beautiful. Also, I love that I didn't think we had enough content to fill a whole episode. We've gone long, so this is going to be interesting. Let us know your thoughts on Hoodwinked. Excuse me, I just burped.
There are 3 Arthur movies.
Arthur and the Invisibles 1, Arthur and the Invisibles 2, Arthur and the Revisibles is the last one.
He directed all 3 of them.
Fuck off, really?
Yeah.
How have I never heard of these movies?
Because they're invisible, man.
You're not the right audience. You were too old.
That's true.
I remember the adverts for that movie. I remember seeing these like being advertised.
My favorite bit in Peter Pan is when
Fuck off.
No, listen.
No.
When
I
the
want
kids,
you- no,
when the
stop
kids
talking.
When the kids come in and the dog gets kicked out and they're like, oh, poor Nana, and then the dad goes, poor Nana. What about poor Papa? Best bit in Peter Pan.
I want you to send in your thoughts, feelings, opinions, ideas on Hoodwinked. I want you to send in your ideas for movies like Hoodwinked we can watch afterwards. I want you to send in your favourite quote that is not a regular quote from a Disney movie for Gary. And I also want you to applaud, laugh, cheer, and be joyful for Audio Boy's return. This has
Yeah.
been the Meandering Movie Podcast. This has been Audio Boy.
Music is life.
This has been Gary Copeland.
I'm getting beaten by a rug.
And this has been the Masochist Ball Torturer. Thank you for listening. We will see you on the other side of Hoodwinked.
Peace out. Whose balls are you torturing?